guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hope and I make press-on gel nails. Today's video we are going to be making press-on gel nails. I was very kindly gifted 2 sets from Sweetie Nail Supply, which are the Favori Demure edition as well as the Planet edition inks. So that is kind of what this set is focused around. I really wanted to, bring out that flash cat eye element. If you are interested in those products or any of the other products that I use throughout this video, I do have my discount code, which is HOPE10 for 10% off at checkout. Of course, no obligation to use that, but thank you very much if you do. And if you like the video, please do give it a like. Also, if you're interested in seeing more of the behind the scenes of making and wearing gel nails, then please subscribe. I think that's pretty much it for the intro, so I'm going to go straight into the set now. For the set, as always, I will start with the prep, which is just attaching, filing, and wiping down my nails with alcohol. These are the itemID Canoe short slim square tips, the same tips that I use every single time. And for the products, these are the colors that I'm using. So I'm using the Favori Demure edition purple and cream shades, for that Maho Shoujo magical girl kind of vibe, as well as this Nail Bio nudie skin color as kind of like my breakup color, because I wanted something that had enough pigment but was also neutral, as I always use white. And I'm also going to be using the Favori Planet edition, which is these 2 super sparkly inks as well as a mold. I'll show you the colors in more detail as I do the bases. So you can see here that the purple is very transparent. Like, it's definitely a gel that you can use as a layering gel, but it also has this really pretty colored glitter in it, as well as the white particles. And then for the Nail Bio skin, this is also what it looks like. So I think in one coat, it looks really nice. And in this case, I also like to leave it for 10 to 20 seconds just to self-level as well. And by this point, you know me, so you know that I'm going to be doing some ombre bases. I'm gonna ombre together, some of the Favori purple, some of the cream, some of the nudie skin, all just blending it together. It blends together really nicely. And it's the first coat anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And on these, I'm also removing the cat eye on all of them as well for that first layer. And then I also really wanted to do a half and half design. So half of the cream and then half of the purple. These 2 colors blend really nicely together, obviously because they're sheer. So the blend is like really nice with this stippling brush. This is a Jello gradation brush, the same one that I use as always. But I just love a half and half design. I feel like it is kind of underappreciated, It's kind of an underappreciated combination. And this is what the bases look like on the first coat. All very simple, very demure, as the name is suggesting, Next, I'm gonna do my second coat. So I'm using the new Nail Bio Hema-free top gel as like my working in the middle gel to layer. I love this gel. My first impressions and also just lasting impressions is that I love it as much as the normal Nail Bio top gel. So if you like that one, I'm pretty sure you're still going to love this Hema-free version. And it's Hema-free, so why would you not opt for the Hema-free version? And I'm very excitedly going to show you a new cat eye technique here. So I saw this on Instagram Reels / Xiao Hongshu. I think it was a Chinese nail artist that I saw it from. Basically where you pull all the pearls from one side and then you like round it around the front and you create like a ball. So you gather the pearls in like a ball at the edge and it creates like this really cool effect where it balls but then halos over the nail as you flip it. Very interesting. I really like it, but I also think it will look really cool with like a silky cat eye. So I definitely want to retry it with a silky cat eye as well. But I was doing it on this thumbnail as well, which had like a French tip to see if that worked. It actually did work still, which I was pleasantly surprised about. And then for my other cat eye designs, these are just the same kind of cat eye designs that I do before. You can watch previous videos. I'll link it in the little eye for where I go in depth over doing these kind of techniques. But same techniques, I just use a mixture of my favorite magnets, being the Agaha small round magnet as well as the Enoi long round magnet, just to do some like overall cat eye and some French tip cat eye as well. It's kind of funny actually, because I remember a comment in one of my shorts and it's like, you have to build a relationship with every cat eye gel because every cat eye gel is made differently and the kind of magnet that works with it and how you like to work with it is going to be different. So you always have to go through like that dating phase with each cat eye gel to figure out how you like it, how you can work with it. But these ones, they were gorgeous. They were very seamless to work with. And I just really appreciate, when a cat eye is nice to work with. And I also love these cat eyes because they're flash cat eyes, which means that it's not going to be that super smooth effect, but instead it's going to be one that really shows up really brightly and kind of like glitters a lot in flash photography, and this is what they look like. Look how insane that is. That's insane. And that is in a well lit lighting as well. Like that's not even in dark lighting with your camera flash on, low exposure, you know? Now we get into the fun part, which is making 3D charms. So I'm using the Favori Planet Edition collection, which is 2 inks and then this 3D mold, as well as this 3D mold gel, I guess, that they put in to use with it. I wanted to share my first test sessions and kind of like my findings from this with you. So the first time that I did this, I did just kind of like, I guess, apply the gel quite randomly. I didn't really like do it with much technique, and then I just went in with a brush to kind of refine it out. And honestly, like the molds filled really easily. Like it was super easy, super seamless to fill them. And the gel as well that they put in to do this, super nice, quite a thin consistency. So if you're going to do this at home and you have other molds, I would suggest probably take the lead from the brand. So when you're using 3D molds, do it with a thinner gel or like a specific gel that is formulated for molds. So I know there's also the Jello mixing gel, which I also own, but I have not used it yet. Because I guess, yeah, like a thinner consistency gel, and also one that's formulated not to go cloudy, because that's one thing that I find if I use a top coat in it, the top coat tends to go cloudy. But yeah, this is how the molds kind of turned out. They popped out really easily as well. But for a first attempt, they turned out very nicely. But then on my second attempt, when I was making more charms, one thing I found, actually the mold tends to work best if you just drop the gel in there and kind of let gravity do its thing, because it self-leveled really nicely and kind of like filled the gaps very easily by itself. And I would just go in with a brush to refine the edges so that I kind of avoided getting bubbles in it as well. And then you can see here, I am popping them out. Of course, I was being delicate with the mold to make sure that I didn't accidentally puncture it or rip it. Again, they removed very nicely. And this is how my charms looked. And now we are ready to decorate them very excitedly. Because did you think I was just going to stop here with clear gems? No. Like I know I did last time, but this time we're going to jazz it up a bit. So I'm going to show you some of my methods for decorating clear charms as well. So the first method is using inks. I'm going to be using the Planet Collection, Planet Edition from the Favori, which came with the mold set. I actually got this idea from Rebecca Paints Nails because she did this, I think she was painting like a Cupid charm with a silver ink. And I was like, that's genius. You can paint charms with inks. What a great idea. So it really is as simple as just painting the charm with the ink. These inks here, they have a lot of glitter in them. They have different bases, so they have a white and a black base, but the glitter inside the base is actually the exact same. Like it's multicolored, even though it looks really white in the white one, it's still multicolored, and it's just that base is different. So that's the first technique. And then the second technique is a little lengthier in terms of steps, but I think it's really worth it. So it's using chrome powder. So I paint on my charm with a powder specific gel. This is the Clodi powder gel, but I'm sure any powder gel that you like to use with chrome powder would work just fine. And with this, I'm just making sure not to get any of the powder gel on the actual white tack that I'm using to glue it down, because that's going to cure there and it's going to be a pain to get off. So just a tip there. I cure that for 60 seconds and then I'm going in with my chrome powder. This is the Nail Bio Silver Chrome Powder, and just applying it. It applies beautifully, and you can see how the charm just kind of comes to life when you add a chrome powder on top of it. And this is what these two look like. And then I go ahead and top coat them, because of course it's still chrome powder, you still kind of need to top coat it. Again, making sure that I don't get any of the top coat on the white tack underneath that I'm using to stick it down. And then we can apply it to the nails. And this is what these two look like. I really like the contrast of the silver on the cat eye background especially, but after kind of looking at this moon, it seemed really unbalanced to me because I'm putting it on the bottom half and I just think in balance with this nail, it was too big. So I was kind of stuck in indecision for a while, like playing around with different charms, but then I settled on adding another star charm and I think this just looks a lot better. Next, we can move on to some chrome designs because I feel like when you put chrome powder on top of cat eye background, it really adds a nice contrast between the two. So for this one, I'm going in with stickers first. These are some stickers that I picked up in Nail Tat when I was in Tokyo, Japan. But I feel like this is a pretty common nail sticker, so I'll leave in the description some links to similar stickers if I can find any. And then I wanted to add on some silver balls to add a bit of spice. This design is inspired by a design I saw on Instagram. I'll put the artist on the screen now. And then after adding those balls using the Jello zigzag gel, I am going to mattify it all. And we can go into the chrome now. So we're gonna go on a little bit of a side quest because I did TLDR actually end up redoing this nail because I wanted to use the Coquist non-wipe accessory bond in white. And I did do a test of this on my pad first, and you can see it paints really nicely. Like the way that I'm painting this, I wanted to create like that kind of variant textured layered technique. So I went in and was just kind of like dragging it, lifting and like dropping the pressure that I was putting on the brush on the pad. And this is how it looks when you add the chrome powder over the top on the pad, and it looks super nice, right? But then when I did this on the nail, it just didn't have the same effect. Like I think because I put it on white, it's really bright, and I just think maybe I should have put it on black. It would have popped a bit more. But either way, we live and we learn, because I did use the blank dust brush for the first time on this nail. So here's the clip of my first impressions of that. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that works so well. Wow. That's crazy. Look at that. Overall, I was really impressed. It brushed off the silver powder so easily. But yes, returning from our side quest, we can go back into redoing this chrome using the Fiote Volume Mirror Gel. I've had this gel for about a year now and absolutely love it. Like the texture is perfect for these jaggedy layered designs where you're kind of layering it up, because it's thick enough and tacky enough where it maintains its shape and it doesn't glob together even if you add more on top of it, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit tackier than the Coquist non-wipe accessory bonds from my experience. I love it. I did do this in 2 layers, so you can see here I flash cured the first layer, and then I went in and added some more over the top. And when I'm flash curing literally for like 10 seconds just to, you know, secure it in place. I really like doing my layered chrome in this fashion because I think it just adds a bit more depth to it. And then I was also doing some similar chrome details on the other nails. So you can see here in the corner of this nail. And I did this on quite a few of the other nails in the set as well. And then we can cure those for 60 seconds and go in with the chrome powder. This is the most satisfying part, honestly. I feel like there's so many aspects of doing gel nails which are super satisfying. And applying chrome powder for me is just, she's that girl. She's one of those most satisfying elements. And as you can see here, I was a bit of a silly goose, let's say, because I accidentally forgot to wipe my matte top coat down with alcohol before I went in with doing my kind of like gel for the chrome design. So I did have to go in and do a bit of cleanup on this. And guys, I think I found my new favorite brush for doing cleanup. It's the pencil brush from the Sweetie Nail Supply 5-piece brush collection, because it's just thin enough where you can get into all the nooks and crannies. But I'm showing you here as well, I also forgot to wipe the inhibition layer off the matte top coat on this nail as well. But the dust brush actually removed the chrome perfectly, so I think it's probably one of those things where it just varies nail by nail. And as always, to finish off, I'm going to line my chrome first. I'm using the Jim B liner gel. To be honest, I don't really recommend it that much because it's a bit too thick to cover chrome with, but it works and I have it, so I'm going to use it. And then here, I'm just finishing off some of the other nails with the chrome designs by adding the charms I made earlier. So I'm layering 2 of the heart charms, and then I'm going to fill this heart charm with Jello Zigzag Gel because I wanted to add silver balls into it to add a little bit of interest. Like, the thing is, I really wanted to keep a lot of transparency with the overlays I did on these nails because I didn't want the cat eye to be overshadowed, but I wanted to, you know, add some interest into it as well. As in, I really wanted you to still have the cat eye shine through the charms from underneath. And then this charm that I'm adding here as well is one of them that I painted with the ink. So it kind of looks transparent, right? But then when it catches the light at certain angles, it does reflect that really bright white, which, similar to the flash cat eye gels from the Demure edition, when you have a flash on the camera and like you're moving your hands and stuff, it just adds another glimmer, another element of glimmer, you know? Following on with the Fiote Volume Mirror Gel theme, I wanted to do some French tip designs. I saw this on Instagram. I will again post the name of the nail artist who I got the inspo for this from. But I really like doing designs where you have cat eye with a matte top coat and then you add 3D or like top coat over the top to let the cat eye shine through on certain designs. And I'm just adding those charms again. I did add the thumbnail charm on whilst I was looking at it diagonally, just so that I could see and catch it at the right angle when you would wear it on your thumb. Because you know, like, this is normally the angle that you look at when you do your thumb. And then for some more finishing details, I'm going to be doing 3D swirls. As always, it would not be a set by me if I didn't do 3D swirls in it, to be honest. But you know what's so funny is I've been doing 3D swirls now for a year and I still have not perfected my technique. Like, I still go back and forth on the specific way that I get the gel or let the gel sit on the brush. But my ride or die is always the Fiote middle liner brush, or sometimes if I want to do small swirls, I'll use the Fiote slim liner brush, but like 9 times out of 10, I'll use the middle liner. It is the perfect brush. I know I keep saying this every single time, but it's the perfect brush for doing swirls on this length of nail tip. But again, if anybody has any tips, or if you have a specific brush that you use to do 3D swirls, please let me know in the comments below, because I'm always up for trying new brushes. And to add a bit more pizzazz, I also wanted to add some blobs on as well, because as I mentioned, I just really want to add interesting elements of 3D that refract the cateye from underneath in really interesting ways, because I love that effect. I love it so much. And I'm also adding chains on some of the other nails because I just wanted to keep everything quite streamlined and simple. I personally prefer this way for adding chains the most. I've used actual chain in the past, but using actual chain, like a string of connected points that you wrap around the nail, is so complicated for me. Like, it's so unnecessarily difficult to make it look correct, because you have to cut the chain at the exact right amount, and then you have to make sure that when you wrap it, it doesn't sit on any parts of the nail awkwardly. Is this the same experience for anybody else, or are chains really easy for everybody else to use? Like, please let me know. I should definitely look into some tips for how to get chains to sit more nicely on the nail. But yeah, anyway, I added more charms, and then I'm also just top coating these charms individually because I obviously wanted to keep the rest of those nails matte, right? And then I'm doing my final top coats on all of my nails that need like an actual final top coat, and it's just so satisfying. It's just so satisfying to do that final top coat at the end of your set. And this is how the whole set turned out. How pretty. I really like how it turned out because I like how the cat eye refracts in really interesting ways. And I think that the silver and the clear and the cat eye elements all kind of come together quite nicely. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with them. And then we can do our final wiping and removal. This is also one of my favorite parts. At the end is just bim bam boom boom boom, like all of them popping off their stands after hours of work. And this is the kind of final set on white. And then also I'm going to include some clips now of me wearing one of the hands and adding some flash elements on it, so you can really see how the flash cat eye just like pops from underneath. They look absolutely stunning. Like, flash cat eye in person is just another level of cat eye, honestly. Like, I think it translates on camera pretty well, but yeah, in person it's just like wow. As mentioned, all the products will be listed in the description box below. My discount code is there as well if you would like to use it and support the channel. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed, and my next video will be the behind the scenes of me swatching over 60 gels, which took a lot of time, but also the behind the scenes of me making this as well. So if you're interested in that and seeing more of the behind the scenes of making and wearing gel nails, then please subscribe. And with that being said, I think that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.